Excellent, excellent. It is day number 2 or 3, depends on how do we count us, on the SharePoint Hackathon 2026, which will be running from the 2nd until 16th of March. And today we'll have the 2nd live stream, or technically 3rd, if we calculate the 25th anniversary as the first one. Depends on how do we define that. But technically on Monday, we had the 25th anniversary of SharePoint. That was the kickoff. We had yesterday already a live stream where we talked about the portals and designs and beautiful things what you can do with SharePoint UX stuff or using the AI tooling, which is awesome demos by Judith and Sarah and Caitlin. And today we have even more awesome stuff available for you. So today we're going to focus on the company home, and there's new capabilities there for desktop and mobile, and such a great set of demos coming up with our feature PMs and demo presenters. And hopefully you have already questions available based on the information what we've been sharing, because we're here to answer all of your questions. Let's actually get Rob here. Rob is going to be the second host, and we're going to talk a bit about the 25th anniversary event. So Rob, I'm going to put you on a spot there. You were part of the event as well, and helping us to set up everything. Quick intros. Who are you first, and then let's talk about the event a bit.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. Rob Nunez, Product Market Manager for SharePoint and OneDrive. So been very closely tied, obviously, to the team and the 25th celebration that we had on Monday. And honestly, like, the energy is still going live after that event. Like, there's so much to say, you know, just from celebrating the milestone alone to the announcements that we had across AI and SharePoint, and all of the new visual and just functionality refresh that we have across the platform is super, super exciting. And I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on it and really just see what everyone builds and creates from all of the content that we've been able to share. So yeah, still going strong, still celebrating the birthday a few days later. So it's been great.
Absolutely. It's been awesome. There was a nice in-person meetup also in Redmond area for those people, and of course online celebrations. And thank you everybody, by the way, for your lovely messages in LinkedIn related on 25th anniversary on SharePoint. There has been a lot of them, and obviously in other social medias as well. We do follow all of them, right, Rob? That's pretty much our job.
Yes, indeed. We've seen the activation across all of social, especially on LinkedIn, and just seeing everyone's stories, you know, being with SharePoint from the beginning to even the last couple of years. Like, it's just incredible to see how strong the community is, the passion around the product, and really just celebrating this milestone has been incredible. So continue to share your stories. We see all of them. We're going to continue to engage with them as much as we can. And don't forget to use hashtag SP@25. It makes it a lot much easier for us to be able to track. And same thing for the hackathon, hashtag SharePoint Hackathon, for us to see all of the great content that everyone's putting together. So keep lighting up social, and we'll keep engaging. We'd love to see it.
Cool. Now, before we go back on and having a look on the hackathon details and kind of an intro on that one, because we're going to repeat that in every single live stream. Rob, what is your #1 favorite feature in 25th anniversary announcements? Anything special come to mind?
Yeah, honestly, I think the being able to build pages and sites within the context of SharePoint is incredible. And I was actually utilizing some of those features yesterday to do a news post. So just being able to take a drafted document, put it in the tool, and have it just build it in real time, and you know, we can edit and tweak it there. It's just a huge time saver, especially for us when we're communicating content out and just doing these event recaps. I think is a super essential tool. And again, the intent of this experience is to be able to navigate SharePoint much easier, much more seamlessly. And then you have all of these AI tools that will help you do your job much faster and more efficiently. And I was able to do a news post in like 5 minutes versus like 30 minutes to an hour to do. So definitely one of my favorite features. But yeah, I love how we've been able to refine that experience all up.
Absolutely. Now, kind of a related, because one of my favorites, that's definitely what cool, is actually also the fact that you can take a Teams meeting and Teams meeting summary and basically say, create a page. And that's a beautiful feature. Because again, you can actually, even though the people were not necessarily invited on a meeting, you can just, with the click of a button, you have a page available, all of the summaries, decisions, or everything else, and the notes available from the meeting. It's just mind-boggling how cool that feature is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, this is just the beginning, right? We're going to continue to evolve and iterate on these experiences, and they're just going to keep getting better and better. And again, like, this is where the feedback from the community, our customers, comes into play. And you know, continue to let your voice be heard, because that's the reason why we do these features. That's the reason why we build them, to make sure it's the best experience for you possible. So I can't wait to see the next couple months to the next year of what we will be able to showcase by that point. So absolutely.
25 years, and we are only just getting started, right?
And we're only just getting started. Absolutely.
Excellent. Now, let's actually recap a few of the information from Monday. So first of all, let's have a look on the beautiful cake here. Just a reminder, AKMS SP at 25, that URL continues to work. We will surface all of the 25th anniversary videos there. The recording is available already there. The hackathon videos will be surfaced there as well. You'll find more details on the hackathon. So the recording of that 2nd of March event is already available. And we're seeing a lot of people actually watching that. That's a recording, which is great. And that was the whole idea of getting it live broadcasted as well. Now, before we go to the actual topic of the day, we also wanted to recap a bit about the hackathon, kind of a logistics and the options. So first of all, the hackathon runs again from 2nd of March. That was the kickoff from that event. Yesterday, we had a first live stream, but the live stream is here to support you to see the latest and greatest what is possible in SharePoint. So you can actually build cool looking submissions. And we do have 6 different categories available for people to submit. And those are the UX design, so beautiful looking designs. You could actually use an AI to generate the pages and then create yourself with the nice graphics. The mobile experience, the naming is maybe not quite optimal. It could be the beautiful looking home site experience, but really kind of focused also on the mobile experiences there, because we have some cool news on that one, which we're going to demo today as part of the demos, which is awesome stuff as well, because you're able to control the mobile experiences better. Then we have the knowledge agents or agents, AI in the SharePoint, helping your knowledge to be more efficiently managed. So we're really looking into what kind of stories, how people are using the AI in the document libraries to generate, for example, the metadata and all of that stuff. We do have a live stream coming up on that one on next Monday. Agents with SharePoint is also really, really cool stuff. That could be agent, it could be Copilot, which is connected, Copilot Studio connected to SharePoint. It could be those agents which you create in SharePoint. It could be Copilot Lite with SharePoint and all of that. It doesn't really matter as long as it's Copilot agents and it has a grounding on SharePoint. Those are the things what we want to see in that category. The 5th category is more on pro code and development story. So SharePoint framework and of course you get extra points if you use AI capabilities there. For example, Copilot API is doing something with SharePoint framework and surfacing things, or maybe use SharePoint framework to surface a Fabric agents which are connecting to the SharePoint. Could be a good idea as well. Or it could be then a SharePoint embedded submission. SharePoint embedded is then the model where you put the content in SharePoint, but you have a custom UX, but you still benefit out of all of the compliance and security and everything else because the files are within the customer tenant. A really great option for everybody to benefit. So that's kind of the spectrum. And one submission can fall into multiple categories. So in 2025, we actually had multiple submissions which were falling into all of the 4 categories which we had last year. So you can actually have a one video, because the submissions are videos, which is basically touching the spectrum of all of these things, which is really, really cool.
Incredible.
What are you, Rob, looking forward the most? Any kind of wishes what you would have from a personal perspective for people to submit on any of this?
Honestly, and to your point, Visa, like there's multiple separate categories, but SharePoint is an end-to-end experience, right? And it's also just this visual alone just shows how much you can do on the platform itself. So honestly, like I'm just open to just seeing all the just creative ideas. There might be stuff that I can't even think about in this moment that people might be able to put together, but I'm just excited to see how they can leverage all of this and create something that's, super impactful. And I really can't wait to see what the submissions come through for all of the content.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, let's then recap. Why would you actually submit? Because that's a good question as well. What do you get for submitting? So what are the things what we're offering you to do? First of all, every single person who's submitting will get a Greatly badge. So using the official Greatly badging, you will get a badge which will verify that you've been contributing for the community, and it's going to say that is coming from Microsoft, and we appreciate your contributions. Now, top 3 contributions in every single category. You saw that there are 6 categories, and from all of those, we will acknowledge top 3, and they will be announced in our other category, and you will be explicitly called out in official blog post, which is pretty cool as well. So promoted by your name and your submission directly in the Microsoft channels. Now, but then we get to the actual cool awards as well. The winners in a category. So the top one, number 1, team, because one team can have 1 or 4 people per category. So we'll get actually a Surface laptop. So if you have 4 people in the category, you will get 4 laptops. So everybody will get a laptop in that category winning team. But if it's on one person, it's only one laptop. That's a really cool award as well, and we'll figure it out how we get it to you, shipped to you, so you can actually get access on that award as easy as possible. And then the final thing is, we do always request all of the people who are submitting and participating on our hackathon. Is it a SharePoint hackathon? Is it a Powerful Devs hackathon? Is it an agent hackathon? To take advantage of our community calls. So you are absolutely welcome to do live demos within our community calls. We do have a lot of hundreds and tens of thousands of people actually joining on these calls year round, all together in a year, which is awesome. And that will give you visibility for the story what you're submitting as well. Cool stuff. Awesome stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, I think without the further ado, I'm always talking too much, Rob. I do apologize on that one. That's
no, not at all. Listen, it's always great to start the day with the energy, and listen, it's the passion behind it. So never enough. Yes, indeed. Now, but today we are not really the stars. We're just chatting here kind of at the logistics and helping people to get started on things. We do have the actual stars today, who are DC and Akshay, waiting behind the scenes. So let's get the curtains open. And here's the stars. And here we go. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Lisa, you are always a star, and Rob, you are always a star as well. We've got a lot of videos of you all out there proving that you're stars. So I am so elated to share the stage with these mega stars and superstars of our community right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DC.
Hey, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you, Akshay, as well. Let's do a quick intros. Who are you, and what is your role within SharePoint?
I'll take that question first.
Okay, DC first. Sure. Either way.
I'll go first. I'll interrupt it. Thank you all. Thank you very much. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're dialing in from. Very excited to be here. I am DC Pador. I am a product manager in the SharePoint team. I've been with SharePoint about 14 years now. I started out working in the cloud infrastructure side of the SharePoint product and moved over to the intranets and communication sites and news side of the product about 7-10 years ago, I think. It's all a blur, but it's been a fantastic ride, and really happy to have been part of the 25th birthday celebrations. And as everybody keeps saying, we're just getting started. There is a new revolution, a technology revolution. We are here to go leverage that and deliver even more value and empower everybody. And very excited to showcase specific sets of features that we've been working on, and I'm privileged to represent on behalf of our entire team.
Absolutely. Thank you, DC. What's about Akshay? What's your background and role?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Love the energy that three of you are bringing in here. I'm Akshay. I'm a product manager for SharePoint and List. DC has been here for 13-14 years. I've been here for a couple of months. I think I joined just in time for the 25th anniversary. And the last couple of months have been amazing. Lots of things going on, lots of great things being developed by the team over here. So excited to be part of this session today.
Thank you, Akshay. And you'll be here for the next 25 years because we're going to celebrate 50 years at that time, right? So I'll be here hosting. It will be good. It will be good. So,
no, I think on the 50th one, I'll be hosting it.
Absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome as well. So... Good. But today we're going to talk about the home site, what do we call it? Company home experience, right?
Home site.
What is the right term? Home sites.
Home site. So
yes.
I'm if we are ready to get into our sites, we can do that. I want to talk about that. But as you said, while the category is pocket productivity and mobile experiences, the journey begins with creating the top of the intranet site. And about 7 years ago, SharePoint introduced the concept of a home site, which is the top of your intranet. It is that one landing page. It is that main site owned by the corp comms typically, and it's also typically set up as the browser default in many of the organizations. So moment employees come, open a browser, that's the page they get to. That's where important information, informal news, and leadership voices and cultural impact, all of that information is captured in that experience and pushed out. And it has many names. Intranet has been the generic term being used, and SharePoint Home site is the manifestation of that experience. It's that one top site which is the default experience. We're going to begin the journey there, and absolutely, we're going to save the best for the last and talk about how this is going to be uniquely fantastic with our mobile offering.
Now, before we actually start going through the all content, just want to call out the slide what we're seeing here, or the information and graphics. AKMS SB at 25 Hackathon S2 is the tech community URL. That's one location where you can go and ask questions, sign in and ask questions with your name. Or of course, you can ask questions already at this moment of a time in YouTube, and we'll get back on the AMA section with all of the questions. We're trying to cover all of the questions. If we cannot cover all of the questions, we'll get back on those questions afterward, especially in tech community, because that saves and we are able to answer them. But I guess I think you have, DC, some great news about the public preview, so we'll let you go and focus on presentation. So take us away on this journey, and let's go through the topic.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Thank you for this. And yeah, let's get started with our the next slide in here. As I said, what is a home site? So wanted to land that message with you. It's been around in the product for several years now, but for somebody who's joining for the first time, first off, welcome to our community, the best tech community in the world right now. But for a home site, it is the top of the intranet. It is the business that most of us are in with our customers to help them organize the information and the tools and resources and provide that one beautiful destination that is evergreen and consistently available across different form factors and experiences, and have people come there for getting their work done or getting the information that they need. That's the top of your intranet. And the product in SharePoint that helps you all deliver that fantastically is called Home Site. Home Site is a feature of SharePoint. It's not necessarily, it is not a site template per se. It is basically a communication site within the tenant that has been elevated to serve the purpose of being the top of your intranet vis-a-vis the home site. What's changing with the home sites right now? And this is where I want to spend a couple of minutes to explain what's happened in the past few years and why this matters right now. Over the pandemic, the need for having a portal experience wherever users are, and users were mostly in Teams and on the go and globally distributed and hybrid work environments and all that. So having that experience be powered by SharePoint was very important. And then we introduced Viva Connections as a product to help deliver employee engagement experiences within Teams. It's found great success, but over the years, what we have realized is there was friction with two different product names, and we're now trying to collapse that together. And with the 25th anniversary and the announcement of the new SharePoint experience that just went into public preview a couple of days ago, we are now just one product. It's all SharePoint. SharePoint is the foundation. SharePoint is the platform on which an employee experience or an intranet portal site is created, and how it's managed and how it's all deployed. So we're simplifying the definition of all of these experiences. It's all SharePoint product, and it's all just one setup. You don't have to go to different places to do different things. It's all powered by SharePoint. You just go to one place, one product experience, and one feature within that product to go manage all of your SharePoint creation and deployment experiences. And obviously the one experience. We didn't want the fracturing of, it looks different on the mobile, it looks different on Teams desktop, it looks different on the browser. Nope. If the organization chooses, you can have the same experience everywhere. That's what's evolving. That's the outcome we want. And I'm going to walk you through the list of features and experiences that is actually going to help you have that experience. And I'll actually do a live demo as well. Moving on. What exactly are they saying? So first thing, we're going to bring back the creation of a home site into the SharePoint Admin Center. It's a SharePoint product. It's a SharePoint feature. So it must be in the SharePoint Admin Center as well. Next, resources was a very popular experience with Viva Connections. You could have the same resources in desktop and mobile. And now we are bringing that as a web part into a SharePoint home site construct with a little twist. And I'm going to talk to you about what that little twist is for the first time ever. It's a very exciting update to how web parts work in the first place. Second thing is announcements, or rather third thing is announcements. Announcements, again, a very popular feature. Again, I'm going to have a little bit of a surprise update for you all on that front. I'll get to there. Spotlight layouts, the impressive visual layout of news on a Viva Connections experience. The default experience was favored by many. Now we bring that into the web part as well. So everything that used to be possible in the default railed experience of Viva Connections is now folded back into SharePoint as web part and web part experiences. So now customers have the option. You can continue to have the ready to go railed experience like a fixed experience, or customize it and bring your entire home site homepage with the full power of SPFX to put whatever web part you want on there and leverage all of these new experiences, package it together, deliver it to your web browser, deliver it to Teams desktop, and deliver it to Teams mobile. That's what's changing altogether. Moving on. A quick view of, as I said, this is the place for creating home sites. Typically all SharePoint customers have access to one home site, and then if there are scenarios where you need to have more than one, what we call as a multiple instances, that still is part of the Viva Connections experience in the Microsoft Admin Center, and we might have a future roadmap on that experience. One important call out here is while we are managing the connections experience, we're actually renaming the app in the Teams ecosystem to be SharePoint. It's the same SharePoint home site. You just use the same SharePoint app. It's just the experience in Teams is called Connections. You can have a Connections experience powered by the SharePoint app. Next, the resources web part. As I said, the surprise update on this is while it looks like a typical quick links web part, what's different is this is going to be a persistent web part across the entire site, what we typically call as content reuse web part. This web part is a visual representation of a list of links that is managed centrally within that site. So the same web part can be put into multiple pages or all the pages, and it'll reflect the same links. And the moment you make an update on one, it updates everywhere. So the content reuse experience is coming into this resources web part, and this is the same thing that is part of the Viva Connections out of the box experience that you all are familiar with. So that's a great an update that we're very excited to bring it into SharePoint home sites with the typical web part paradigm. Next, please. We have the announcements. This announcements have been very popular as well. In the Viva Connections suite of offerings. The great new update here is that now we're going to be making it part of SharePoint itself. So no need for extra licenses. So you don't need to have a premium license to have a connections experience. And the biggest value proposition here beyond that is you can have targeted notifications. Every announcement is configured with a security group. I'll do a live demo of that and you will see that. And when that goes live, only that set of people get notified, and they will get brought into the Teams experience for showing that specific announcement, and they can take action on top of that. Next, please. The news web part, the flowing nature of multiple card sizes with the animation was very compelling and impressive to our customers. They've been asking us to bring that into SharePoint itself, and with that now we've brought that layout, what we call as a spotlight experience. It's called the film strip layout, and it's going to be part of the news web part as well. Next, please. Most important factor, the flexibility in setting up the mobile and desktop experiences. What we have done here is, as I mentioned, Connections just becomes a feature of SharePoint home sites. And now we are also renaming that Connections to be just SharePoint app. So the SharePoint app has a mobile experience and a desktop experience, both of which used to be pretty rigid and railed experiences. And now we have brought flexibility into bringing either your entire home site experience or sticking with the out-of-the-box fixed layouts. So we'll have a video to walk through the demo experience as well, and we are very excited to bring that. This has been a big ask from all of our Viva Connections and other customers is, give me more flexibility. SharePoint is nothing but flexibility. Would like to have that in our Connections experience as well, and this is delivering that value proposition. The first tab is about mobile config. Next, please. And then we'll have the desktop configuration. We'll walk you through this as well. I think it's time to switch to our demos right now. Let me prepare for that. Oh, a couple of more slides on this. So next, please. So I want to quickly land on some minor tweaks on the visual layout of the connections experience in mobile, which is now going to be the SharePoint app experience in Teams Mobile. What used to be the tabs for navigating between the primary UX experiences is now going to become a pill, and this is the nuance change that's going to be rolling out to everybody, and that it helps prepare for the various configurations that will then be supported by the in the home site SharePoint app configuration flow. Next, please. One thing we've also introduced is navigation menus, including the site navigation and the hub navigation and the global navigation is all available within that mobile app. So there is no context loss, and users can get to the resources even on the go. So with that, I'd love to switch to my live demo, and I'm ready to do this. So let's begin with the journey where home sites are created. As I said, everything starts with the home site. You need to have a connections experience. You want to build a great looking home site. You want all these web parts and the announcements and notifications. Everything begins with having a home site. So in the SharePoint Admin Center, you navigate to the settings. I'm going to show you again the settings on the left navigation here, and then the first item is SharePoint Home Sites. You click on that, and obviously this is a test environment where I have not yet set it up. So with an option you are able to create. I already have the communication site that's available. I'm going to paste the URL. It tells me that this site can be set as my home site. I save, and voila, this has been nominated as the home site in your organization. And within a few minutes, when you refresh this page, the site will now have the capabilities of SharePoint home sites, and you can do that by looking at the verbs in here with go to connections and the manage connections, all of which will be renamed to manage home sites and manage experiences. So we're very early in the preview experience. I'm now going to switch to tenant where all of this has been already set up. So this is my other demo environment where I have a few more things, like a cooking show where I show you a bunch of ingredients. The first step to get started, fast forward half an hour, and here is where we are midway through the cooking. So I'm going to switch over to this tenant experience where we have content in there to help land the new updates and how they will impact your home site experience. So I'm going to begin with the news web part, which I also captured as having a new layout, delivering the visual the good visual impact of Spotlight that was available in Viva Connections. So as you can see, I have the news web part in here. um, I'm going to try to open the property panel. As you can, live demo bugs. Okay, I can look at that. Oh, okay, all right. So now I'm going to come back to the news web part and open there you go. In the news web part property panel, now you have a film strip layout. You do that, and now you have an option that says how many posts do you want to show, and then you can automatically have an animation that rotates the news items, and you can configure the number of seconds you want to spend in there. And now I just made a choice in here. I'm going to republish, and voila, now you have this beautiful news web part that is just going to rotate through your news items and have like a compelling experience at the top of your internet homepage. So this is the first update, the Spotlight experience coming into SharePoint news web part as a layout. Next, I'm going to move into the announcement web part. This is my personal favorite here, and where the announcement experience that was available in Viva Connections, as I mentioned, is now going to be available in SharePoint as well. You do not need the Connections premium license anymore. As long as you have the M365 SharePoint licenses, this should just continue to work for you within your SharePoint portals. So I have the web part. There is a simple add button to begin the journey in here. Join the hackathon. Love the energy. And then audience to target, as I mentioned, every announcement was now going to require an audience, which is typically a security group or an M365 group. And I'm going to pick Contoso, Relic Cloud FTE. Come on, there you go. You can schedule this for later. You can add an external link. Maybe I will do this. Learn more. Oops. This is the rookie bug. So I'm putting the wrong entry in the wrong place. aka.ms/sp@25. Okay, so you go through the flow in here, and then you send the announcement. And if the person, if users who are part of that security group, wherever they are in the home site with this web part being added, typically in the home page of your of that thing, they will then be able to look at the announcement as well. So as you can see, there you go. This announcement automatically showed up in here, and I'm going to put that all together in the home site homepage and get to that in a second. So the next one I want to get to is the resources web part. And here is where we talked about this. This is also another personal favorite of mine, the content reuse experience. So there is obviously already some content in there, which is in a different page. Typically, we have the scenario where a set of links are made a standard part of all pages and all news posts within a site. And this is the experience that makes that possible, where you can have one web part having a set of links in there. You can see that there are two different ways of visually representing it. And I am just going to make a small change to this. I'm going to just call it stop benefits, right? I just made a change to this web part on this page, and I'll just republish this. But you would now see that now I'm now switching to the actual home page of the intranet home site that I've created, the home site homepage. I'm just going to refresh this so you can fetch the latest content, and then right away you will notice that this resource web part here also updated. So not just the text in here, the link, the image, everything is shared across the site. The same web part is going to represent the set of links in different pages. You can visually style it, but the content and the links and the images are going to be consistent across the entire page. You make a change in one place, it reflects everywhere. It's the content reuse experience that I wanted to call out. And as you can see, the announcement also posted in here. And at the top, I have the news web part in a flexible section. And I want to also show you how this ends up as a notification in the Teams app. So in the Teams app, everybody got a notification in here. And all right, we hit a bug, but this would have opened the announcement experience in that specific home site and showed you focused on that specific announcement in there. But we're working through this, and there you go. So this is what should have been when you click on the notification, it brings you and highlights that one announcement that was the reason for this notification, and you can continue with your journey from there wherever you are in Teams. So quick recap. We talked about the news web part with the new layout, the announcement web part, which is now going to be part of SharePoint experience, no new licenses needed, and the resources web part, which is the content reuse experience, where you can have the same web part, show different content, show the same content across different pages within the same site, bring this all together into a fantastic looking home site homepage, leverage the beautiful site creation experiences that we talked about yesterday with Judith and Caitlin and Sarah, with the flexible sections and AI to create those pages. Now add these powerful web parts in there to deliver actual end user value. And with notifications, you can then have this experience delivered into Teams. And this is where we're going to switch to my my colleague in here, Tejas, who has recorded a demo for me, and we will get to play that.
Speaking of more flexibility, we're introducing new controls for configuring the SharePoint app experience in Teams. Let me show you quickly. going to go to the settings gear and choose Manage Home Site and select the setup experience for the SharePoint app in Teams. In this setup and config experience, you can define how SharePoint appears in Teams on desktop and mobile, so employees get a consistent, company-owned front door no matter where they work. Here, let me configure the Teams mobile experience for the SharePoint app. I'm going to keep the custom layout option, which gives me the Home tab as a new dedicated tab in the app, alongside key destinations like Dashboard and News. You can reorder the tabs so that the most important experiences appear first. In this case, I want my home site experience to be first and default when my users launch the app on mobile. So you saw that I dragged that to the top. When I'm done with the configuration on mobile, I can flip over to desktop, where I can choose what employees see when they open the SharePoint app in Teams on desktop. You can make the home site the default landing experience, which is the recommended first option, or I can use the preset experience built around the familiar components of Viva Connections. I'm going to stick with the home site option. So we built this new configuration experience because you asked us for more flexibility across the web, desktop, and mobile, and we're excited to deliver it to you now. Now that I've set the configuration for the app, let me show you what that looks like on mobile. Okay, launching into the Relic Cloud app in Teams, you can see right away that I have the Home tab as the first and default tab. This is the same site I just showed you in the browser in its full fidelity, while also giving me the ability to quickly switch tabs to the familiar dashboard. Tap on that. And the news experience. From the Home tab, I can open the new navigation menu and browse both global and site or hub navigation. It allows me to quickly jump to any site in my organization. Let me tap on the Advanced Products Division site. So with this persistent access to this navigation menu, I can seamlessly browse across SharePoint sites in my organization right here without leaving the app.
Awesome. So that was a quick demo of how all of these experiences, the beautiful looking home site homepage with the flexible sections, an editorial card, and with the news web part with the new spotlight-like film strip layout, and then the resources web part that is consistent across your site. And then there is the announcements feature that brings important information, targeted information right at the top of your home site with notifications and Teams. Package it all together and configure it and deliver it for your web, Teams desktop, and mobile, the full package. That's what we are very excited to bring to our customers today, to you all right now. And could we switch back to the slides? The big question I'm expecting, and most of you might be asking about, is we've heard about Viva Connections, and now you're talking about home sites. How does it relate to each other? And I'm here to explain that right now. Starting from the bottom, Connections is the name of that experience in Teams that brings your configurable home site to portal experience to Teams. So imagine, I give the analogy to a lot of people is, hey, if you're familiar with Instagram and Reels, Reels is the experience, Instagram is the app. It's just a similar thing. Connections is the experience, the platform, and the app is SharePoint. So Viva Connections is a feature of SharePoint home sites. It helps you bring that same home site with a fixed experience or the flexible experience into Teams desktop and Teams mobile. That's how Viva Connections and the SharePoint home sites are related. We will continue talking about SharePoint home sites and delivering more value to SharePoint home sites. And Connections is the vehicle through which you will deliver the configured experience into the Teams app. No, one important thing I want to call out is there will be no interruptions to any existing deployments. A lot of you all, while you are eager to participate in a hackathon, you might be supporting your customers, or you are in the middle of deployment with your customers. No interruptions there. So we want to promise that to our customers. If you have a configured app name, configured logo, you have whatever you have set up and deployed in here, nothing will be interrupted. You just now get more flexibility when you are ready to think about the next iteration, or you just cannot wait to get all of these goodness. Good to go. You can start enabling this and rolling this out when we start rolling out. That said, let me switch to the next thing in terms of timelines. Oh, before that, okay. all of these features that we talked about are now being exclusively made available to our hackathon community, the Hackathon 2026 community. There is a link in here. We've already made a video for this, and we can put the link in the tech community page as well. Sign up your tenant, not your production environment, because remember, all of these things are still preview features. Don't bring it into your production environments. Just put it in some dev tenant that can help you with your hackathon right now, and we're happy to enable these features. Give us about 24 to 48 hours, and then check back in your tenant, and you will see the list of these features enabled in your organization. The rollout plan is to have these things start rollout to targeted release sometime in April, and then complete the GA rollout in May. So we have a roadmap. Well, thank you for that. So we announced the features in March with this, obviously, with the preview experience as well. April targeted release, we'll have a full demo at the M365 conference, and GA in May. And we'll also have a roadmap item that's part of our blog post that went live on March 2nd with our SP25 celebrations, which has the specific roadmap item that you can track for when these features will actually be available in your own production environments or in your customers' production environments, which you can then leverage to build out great experience and deliver value to our customers.
Excellent. Now, DC, let's just briefly just reiterate the timeline. So March 2026, SPI 25 announcements. That is the preview announcement.
Yes.
So let's recap a few things. So in 25th anniversary, we said there's a new SharePoint experience, a UX experience. You go to the admin, you enable that. That's only for the build and discover and OneDrive functionality.
Yes.
Now, what we're saying here is that to be able to get the company home experience and the announcement resources, home site, I cannot learn that, sorry, Daisy, home site experience. But you will get that if you sign up on this public review. So, but you need to fill in the form, and after that you will get it within upcoming days, typically in 24 hours. We're going to go through that in AMA question as well. But then in April 2026, as long as the tenant is in a targeted release option for all users, it will be lighting up on those tenants, right?
Right. Excellent. Cool. Thank you for that. Yes. Good delineation there.
Yes. Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Cool.
I guess we're good. Rob, any questions on the timeline or comments on this? Or
no, you landed everything. I was going to say I think we might be ready for some Q&A.
Awesome.
Let's do that. Yes, let's do that. So a few AMA questions. I think we had one question in tech community and a few questions in the YouTube, which we can actually go through. So this is actually a really important one, DC. So no premium license required for push notification through Microsoft Teams mobile app now. Is that right? So let's clarify that.
Yes. 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 This is great value, and we are excited to bring it into the basic SharePoint experience. If you have any of the SharePoint SKUs, any of the SharePoint products that you part of the tenant, then you get, if you have a SharePoint experience already, then you get Viva the same announcements and the notifications in Teams.
That is actually awesome. That is a really, really good news, because again, that provides so much value. I love the announcements, web part and experience, and people do love that. So,
Rob, you want to add anything from a marketing point of view on anything here?
Anything yet? No, I think everything's covered. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton of a lot. It's all covered. Yeah, and any marketing resources we have just locally available just through the blog and other channels that we have. So we can share all of those links and resources if people want to dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, DC, we have another question here from Ronald. So when signing on to the preview, how long does it take to be activated?
Yeah, so 24 to 48 hours. There are multiple systems in play, multiple code bases where things need to get turned on, and we want to do a little bit of validation on our end before we tell you that's all great. So yeah, 24 to 48 hours to have all of these things enabled in there. And I personally am going to be watching that MTC page for this specific event, the Pocket Productivity Mobile event page. I will be watching for people sharing feedback on whether it's working or not, and we'll respond there and communicate via that platform.
Cool. So
Awesome.
fill in the form. If you have any challenges, go to that tech community page, which is AKMS SP@25/hackathon/S2, and from there, it's the one which is actually running in the screen as well. From there, if you can actually report any issues if the configuration things are not properly done. DC, I will be there, of course. DC will be there on this one, following up on things as well. I think we still have. Yes, there we go. So Diego is basically trying to get a bit more clarity on the resources web part. So you can only have a one resources web part across one site.
So yes. So the nuance here is there is only one resource web part, but you can put that on any number of pages. But it is only one such experience available in a site. I can already see the next question of when can we get more than one?
You can answer that question right away.
Hey, it's top of my list. It's it's top of, like, it's a fantastic scenario to have multiple resource web parts, each of them backed by a different list, and have that full content reuse experience that's been part of content management systems. Well, top of mind. We're just rolling out the first one out the door. Hopefully for 2027 we'll get that out there to support more things. Yes,
but again, the key point there being absolutely no promise, no promise. But the key point always is to get the feedback in. So please use the comments, please use the feedbacks, and it doesn't matter if it's the AI features or these features. Use the thumbs up, thumbs down if you see that indicator. Use the commenting, public comments, all of that, because those signals tell us how to prioritize always the features. They say, like in the DC's case, there's a cajillion list of things what we want to do, but then we need to do them in the order of what is the demand, and also internal interest and pressure and all of that. So it is complicated. So we would love to do them all right away.
Absolutely. So I don't know if we have any immediate questions. And again, everyone in the chat, if you have questions, drop them in. We'll be happy to answer. We have our folks ready to engage. But I think, let's see, Aaron, Vesa, do we have any more coming up?
I think right now we'll need to follow up on after that if there's. Oh, there was a funny thing actually, DC. We're putting you on a spot as a personal question. So what does the DC mean? Does it mean domain controller?
Good question. So this is why I never introduce myself as my name is DC Padur. My name isn't DC Padur. My name is Divya Chapan Padur. I just go by DC in short. It's just an easy nickname that's stuck around for a long time, and that's how I order my coffee at Starbucks. Hey, for DC, like District of Columbia or DC Comics. But DC stands for Divya Chapan. It's a very Indian name, and even in India it was very hard. So surprisingly, I had that nickname assigned to me back in India, not even in the US after I moved.
Oh wow.
25 years ago. Even in India, they were like, this is such a long name. You got to shorten it, dude. And then I got DC there.
I can imagine the Starbucks problem of using that.
What's your Starbucks name? Yes, this is my Starbucks name.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I'm having problems with my name as well in Starbucks, because obviously it's not a typical name in the US. And they're like, what? Beta? Sure. Whatever. Now, at some moment of a time, I will go to general availability. Anyway, whatever that means. Beta, preview. So anyway, I guess we're good. And anyway, we're starting to run out a bit of time, running out of the time. So because we need to catch up a bit about the future plan on the hackathon as well. But thank you, DC. Thank you, Akshay, for helping on the background as well. And thank you, DC, for going through things. And Akshay, you've been the magic behind of the new mobile experiences, just putting on a spot there as well. You've been coordinating the mobile experiences and kind of coordinating that side of the changes. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So it's been fun. There's a lot of great work which is happening on the SharePoint mobile app as well. And you'll see a lot of great changes the next time we have this show.
Absolutely. And again, we'll talk about that even bit more in a second, but on the Microsoft 365 Community Conference in Orlando, there's going to be another set of announcements and features and capabilities, but let's get back on that one in a second. Now, let's actually do a quick recap on the hackathon rules and how does the hackathon actually work. So how do we actually, what are we expecting people to do as part of the hackathon? Now, first of all, based on this today's session, please sign up for the preview. We will, if you missed the URL, go back on to check the recording, go to our YouTube channel, akms.com/community/YouTube. You'll find a recording. There's even a video with me and DC explicitly talking about the preview. Sign up. DC will then enable the company home experience, company site. I cannot understand the name.
I know it's tough, but company site.
Company site. Good.
Yes.
The company site experience within your tenant, and then you're able to start designing or adding those capabilities to your existing design already, because there are new web parts which are then available. Now, for hackathon submission, what you want to do is go to the AKMS SharePoint Hackathon or AKMS/SP@25/hackathon. Either one of those actually are going to the right location. You create cool stuff. Obviously, you design stuff within your SharePoint deployment. How to get a deployment? Well, you could use Microsoft 365 trial. All of those are free. You can sign up for a new trial. You might have an existing tenant environment. You might have a demo environment, test environment. There's multiple ways of getting those. So create the cool stuff. Then record a video. In the video, what we're looking always is that you would explain what did you do, why did you do that, what were the objectives. So kind of a walking through what you were thinking as what are you trying to achieve with the design or experience or the solution, whatever you're building. The video should be between 1 to 8 minutes. Why 8 minutes? Well, it's randomly just the maximum length because we will have a lot of submissions and somebody needs to watch all of them. So we just need to make sure that they're not 30 minutes per video, right, because that would take too much time. And then the submission process is basically in that AKMS SharePoint Hackathon URL. There's just a simple form which you need to fill in using the GitHub. You only need to register with an email, super easy, and then you're able to submit. In that form, it will ask, where is the video? You will reference the video, for example, for a YouTube video. If it's, for example, unlisted within your YouTube profile, it could be downloadable from OneDrive. It could be downloadable from any other location as well. As long as we can get access to it and we're able to watch that, it is part of the submission. So that's kind of the rules of the game. And we also have there's a small teaser there, a thumbnail. There's Luisa Fries and Paolo Pialorsi. We did do a video which is explaining all of this in a much more detailed as part of the hackathon video preparations as well. A lot of talking. Now, on the upcoming live streams, Rob is here as a co-host as well. Rob will be back actually next week on Monday to talk about the knowledge agent and manager directories and metadata together with awesome set of product managers from that side of the house. Tuesday next week, we will talk about the agentic agents in SharePoint in a bit more detail, not just on metadata and knowledge management, but also on creating agents in any way, Copilot Studio agents in SharePoint. Wednesday, SharePoint Framework, and then SharePoint Embedded on Thursday. And a lot of different feature PMs are available then to join and talk about their capabilities to show you the art of possible. That's kind of the game here. Now, before we close up, let's get everybody back in the class or on the group just to do a final kind of a summary. Now, especially DC and Akshay, what would you want to see within the submissions? What kind of videos you would like to see? What kind of submission you want to see? What would be the ideal thing where you would be like, thumbs up, this is what I want to see?
I'll go first. I'm going to borrow what Rob said. I did come in with, I would like to see this, but I think what's going to be even more surprising is what I did not think about. Because I think that's truly the magic of our SharePoint platform is there are a lot of things that are turnkey, ready to go, 50 plus web parts, an AI to help you put it together nicely. But then there is the SPFX platform that's going to do magic, and it's going to open up an entire world for you. And we have the dashboard and Viva in our home sites and Viva Connections with ACE cards, and how does that work with AI together, and how do you put all of them together into a packaged intranet that isn't just winning one category, it's just going to blow the roof of all, like a couple of more categories. It's about AI, it's about desktop, beautiful desktop, it's about the mobile experience, like that's and SPFX, right? That's my ideal. Like what is someone's going to cook up something that's going to blow the roof of multiple categories.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah, it's the level of creativity that we're going to see. I think it's going to be what really surprises us, because I think our mentalities, we have a set way of what we think the experience should be end to end. But again, it's going to be the community that really just uses the creative mindset and the tools that they have available to them to create something that we really didn't think about. And I think that's what, again, we're super excited to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll give you an example of that creative. Like, it came from one of our PMs. Right? There was a question yesterday on somebody wanting, hey, I want a background for my web part. And then, we already found the answer was use a flex section. You can overlay one web part on top of the other, and boom, now you have a background for your web part. We didn't even have to build it for you. You can just take the product and mix it up in a way that we probably would not have even documented. So like that, right. I'm waiting for such, like, how did they, like, is this SharePoint? Like, I want to be asking, is this SharePoint?
Right, exactly.
Now, Akshay, anything specific from your side?
Yeah. I think we have a lot of good ingredients over here in terms of web parts, announcements, on the mobile parts and all. I think it's the recipe which comes in together. That's something that users would love. The end user who's consuming that recipe. I think, with this hackathons, what I've seen is there are a lot of fresh ideas which come in, something that we have never thought of, and something just blows us away. So looking forward to such ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to explicitly say, I'm a big fan of home site thinking, and a huge fan of the fact that we're now able to actually have the SharePoint natively within a desktop and mobile as a SharePoint page. That's like mind-boggling. Big fan of SharePoint UX and big fan of SharePoint design. So thank you both for your work, and obviously thank you for engineers and everybody, all of the PMs who've been available of making these things happen. It's a huge step forward, and addresses so many things what customers are asking. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Look forward to all the usage and feedback.
Yes, definitely. Cool. I guess then it's time to start wrapping up. But before we close up, we wanted to always remember everybody that there is the Microsoft 365 corporate community conference. Wow, that's an interesting title. Wow.
Tongue twister. The corporate community conference.
Microsoft Community Conference happening in Orlando in 21st to 23rd of April. And that is in Orlando, awesome venue. We actually been in that venue before, a few years back, for Power Platform Community Conference. So we kind of are familiar with the venue. That should be an awesome setup right next to Universal. So you don't want to miss that one out. Also a reminder, again, the next live stream for next week, that is on Monday 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And that's when we're going to talk about the AI organized libraries together with our wonderful PMs for Monday. But I think next time in person, we will see hopefully a lot of you in Orlando in Microsoft 365 Community Conference. But thank you, Rob. Thank you, DC. Thank you, Akshay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to join you at the upcoming Microsoft 365 Community Conference in Orlando, Florida from April 21st to April 23rd. This event is all about the future of work, how Microsoft is redefining what's possible, and how you can bring that innovation into your daily flow. During the event, Rohan Kumar, my dear colleague, who's Corporate Vice President of Purview Engineering, and I will share Microsoft's vision for securing the new era of AI, showing how frontier firms are protecting their data, identities, and models amid this rapid AI adoption. We will highlight how we're embedding security and governance into every layer of our AI platforms, and how we're unifying Purview, Defender, Entra, Sentinel, and Security Copilot to defend against threats. You will also hear directly from the people building the products you use every day, and discover what these advancements can mean for your business, your teams, and your career. You'll get hands-on experience with powerful new AI capabilities designed for every role and every function, walking away, I hope, with real skills you can use immediately. Most importantly, you'll be part of a global community, connecting with experts and practitioners who share your passion for learning, innovating, and leading through change. So I hope you register today and invite others in your network to join us. I can't wait to see you there.